A signal that should never have been sent, the small exploration ship floated silently through the edge of the unknown sector. It was called the Horizon Light, an old but sturdy human vessel made for deep space research. Inside, Commander Elias leaned over the control panel, tapping the screens with careful hands. "We should map this area quickly," Elias said to his crew. "Earth Command wants a full report." His crew nodded. There were only 6 people on board, all trained scientists and explorers. They trusted Elias. They had been through asteroid fields, radiation storms, and even a pirate encounter. They believed nothing could surprise them anymore. But today was different. Without knowing, they had entered a forbidden zone. A territory owned by the Galactic Empire, a powerful and ancient force, feared across the stars. No human map showed it. No human knew it existed. And now, the Horizon Light was about to make a mistake that would be remembered forever. "Commander, shall we send out a wide-range scan?" asked Maya, the communications officer. Elias nodded. "Yes, let's see what's around us." Maya pressed a button. A bright pulse of energy shot out from the ship, reaching far into the blackness of space. It was a standard scan, harmless, used many times before. They waited, expecting the usual: rocks, gas clouds, maybe a new star. Instead, alarms blared. "Commander!" "Something is out there," shouted Danny, the navigator. Elias stared at the screen. Huge shapes moved in the dark, bigger than anything they had seen. Sharp edges, glowing lights, and strange energy fields surrounded the unknown objects. Then, without warning, a signal hit them. It was not human. It was not friendly. A voice echoed through the ship's speakers. Deep, cold, and full of anger. "Unauthorized life forms detected. Violation of Imperial law. Prepare for judgment." The crew froze. Elias felt a chill run down his spine. "Cut the scan, pull back," he ordered. Maya's hands shook as she tried to shut down the signal, but it was too late. The Galactic Empire had found them, and they were not going to forget. On a distant world inside a massive council chamber of the Empire, High Lords gathered. They were ancient beings, tall and terrifying, their skin shining like metal under the lights. Their leader, known as Lord Zeven, rose from his throne. "What species dares to enter our sacred space?" he asked. A lesser official answered, "They are called humans, my lord, from a minor planet called Earth." The chamber filled with angry whispers. Humans were considered young, weak, and unimportant. But a violation of Empire law could not be ignored. "They must be punished," Lord Zevan declared. "They must be erased." Orders were given. A Hunter-class warship was dispatched. It would find the Horizon Light, destroy it, and send a message to Earth: do not cross the Empire. Back on the Horizon Light, Elias tried to think fast. "We can't outrun them," said Danny. "Their ships are faster." "Then we have to hide," Elias replied. "Head into the asteroid belt. Maybe we can lose them there." The engines roared as the small ship raced toward a nearby field of floating rocks. Behind them, in the far distance, a shadow moved. Something huge and deadly was coming. Maya looked at Elias, fear in her eyes. "Commander, what if they catch us?" Elias did not answer. He simply tightened his grip on the console and stared forward. Inside, he felt a strange mix of fear and anger. Humans had fought wars before. Humans had survived worse. "If they want to fight," he said softly, "then we'll show them who we are." The ship disappeared into the asteroids, leaving only silence behind. But across the galaxy, the story had already begun. Whispers would spread. Records would be made. A new legend was about to rise, all because of one small mistake. One simple signal, and one crew who refused to give up. The Empire had many enemies. Soon, it would have one more. And this one would not be so easy to destroy. First contact with fire, the asteroid field was thick and endless. Sharp rocks floated everywhere, spinning slowly in the cold, empty dark. The horizon light weaved between them, engines humming low to avoid detection. Inside the ship, the crew sat silent, holding their breath. No signs of pursuit, Maya whispered, eyes fixed on the radar screen. But Elias knew better. He had seen the shadow. He had heard the voice. The Galactic Empire would not forgive, and they would not forget. Suddenly, the radar flickered. "Commander, incoming," Danny cried. A massive ship broke through the asteroid field like a shark cutting through water, sleek, dark, and bristling with weapons. Its surface shimmered with strange energy shields. It was a Hunter-class warship designed for one thing: destruction. "They found us," Elias said, voice steady. Maya swallowed hard. "What do we do?" Elias thought fast. "No running, they'll track us. Prepare the decoys. We fight smart." The crew moved quickly. Small drones were released, scattering in all directions. Each drone carried a fake heat signature, designed to confuse enemy sensors. For a few moments it worked. The Imperial ship slowed, scanning the wrong targets. "Good," Elias muttered. "Now full power to thrusters. Head for the thickest cluster of rocks." The horizon light darted forward, slipping deeper into the asteroid maze. Behind them, the Empire ship fired. Beams of deadly light cut through the darkness, shattering stones into dust. One shot grazed the hull, rocking the ship violently. "Damage report," Elias shouted. "Minor breach on level 3. Sealing it now," Maya replied. Rocks spun past the windows, some as large as mountains. One wrong move and they would be smashed to pieces. "This is crazy," Danny gasped, steering with sweaty hands. "Crazy is our only chance," Elias said. The Empire ship followed, but it was slower, heavier. Its weapons were powerful, but in the tight space of the asteroids, its size became a weakness. Then, Elias saw it. A trap. "Head toward that cluster," he ordered. Danny nodded, pushing the ship faster. As they reached the thickest part of the belt, Elias activated a hidden switch. Charges planted earlier by their drones exploded. Huge rocks shifted, crashing together, creating a wall of debris. The Empire ship slammed into the rocks with a thunderous crash. Its shields flickered, struggling to hold. "Yes," Maya cheered. But Elias stayed calm. "It's not over yet." The Empire ship blasted its way free, smoke and fire pouring from its sides. Damaged, but still deadly. "They're mad now," Danny said, voice shaking. "Good," Elias replied. "Let them come." Then something unexpected happened. The Empire ship sent out a message. Not a threat, not a command. It was a request. "Identify yourselves," the cold voice said through the radio. "Explain your actions." The crew stared at each other, confused. "They're giving us a chance?" Maya asked. "No," Elias said. "They want to see if we're worth killing personally." He pressed the comms button and spoke clearly. "This is Commander Elias of the human ship Horizon Light. We made a mistake. We do not seek war." There was a long silence. Then the Empire ship responded. "Your mistake is a crime. Your species is now under review for extermination." The radio went dead. The crew stood frozen. "They're going to wipe out Earth," Maya whispered. "Not if we can stop them," Elias said, eyes burning with determination. He turned to the crew. "We are not soldiers. We are explorers. But today, we fight for every man, woman, and child back home. We stand, or Earth falls." The crew nodded, fear replaced by resolve. "Prepare all weapons," Elias ordered. "Ready the escape pods. If we go down, we make sure they remember who we are." The Empire ship powered up again, brighter and deadlier than before. And somewhere deep inside Commander Elias, a new fire lit. It was not just survival anymore. It was defiance. Humans had always been underestimated by the galaxy. But today, on this forgotten edge of space that would change forever, because when humanity is pushed, when humanity is cornered, it does not beg. It fights. And it burns. The first shot of a new legend was about to be fired. The Empire underestimates Earth. The Horizon Light floated quietly among the asteroids, battered but still alive. Inside, the crew prepared for the next move. They had survived the first attack, but everyone knew the real battle was just beginning. Commander, Elias stood at the center of the control room studying the maps and blinking alerts. "They think we are weak," Elias said. "They think Earth will be easy to crush." Maya looked up from the comm station. "Maybe that's our advantage." Elias nodded, slowly. "Yes, they don't fear us, not yet." Outside, the Empire warship was still repairing its damaged systems. It hovered like a wounded beast, furious but cautious. "Commander," Danny said, "Earth needs to know what's coming." Elias agreed. "Prepare a tight beam transmission. No wide broadcast, we can't risk them tracing it." The message was short and clear. "First contact hostile. Prepare defenses. Warn Earth." Maya sent the signal, her hands trembling slightly. "Message away," she said. "God help us." But unknown to the crew, their message was not the only thing moving through the void. Back on Earth's military command center, alarms flashed. Generals, scientists, and politicians gathered in emergency meetings. Some wanted to surrender, some wanted to hide. But a few, the old warriors, remembered humanity's true nature. "We will not bow," said General Harper, pounding his fist on the table. "If they come, we will remind them why humans survived their own wars." Orders were sent to secret bases. Old projects, once hidden from public eyes, were awakened. Experimental ships, weapons, and defenses, built from stolen alien tech, were prepared for battle. Humanity had been underestimated before. It would be a mistake the Empire would regret. Back in space, the horizon light stayed hidden, but supplies were low. The crew took shifts watching the enemy ship. "They're launching probes," Maya reported. "Small ones, probably looking for us." "Good," Elias said, smiling grimly. "Time to show them how clever humans can be." The crew set traps among the asteroids, magnetic mines, fake heat signatures, and explosive drones hidden behind rocks. When the Empire probes moved closer, they triggered the traps. One by one, the probes exploded in bursts of light and debris. "They're confused," Danny laughed. "They don't know where we are." Elias watched carefully. He knew this small victory would not stop the Empire ship, but it would send a message. Humans were not easy prey. Then came a surprise. The Empire ship sent another message. "Humans, surrender now. Mercy will be considered." Elias tapped the console and replied calmly, "Your mercy is not trusted. You entered our skies. You threatened our people. We will resist." The silence that followed was heavy. Then the Empire ship charged its main weapon. The energy buildup was so massive it lit up the asteroid field like a second sun. "Brace for impact!" Elias shouted. The crew grabbed onto anything they could. The beam fired, but the humans were ready. At the last second, Elias gave the order. Now, the Horizon Light activated a prototype cloaking shield, a stolen piece of alien technology adapted by human scientists. The ship shimmered and vanished from sensors. The beam missed completely, tearing through empty space. The Empire ship, confused and angry, fired wildly into the asteroids, causing chaos. Rocks exploded. Dust clouds filled the area. For a moment, nothing could be seen. Inside the hidden Horizon Light, the crew sat silent, breathing hard. They missed, Maya whispered. Elias smiled for the first time in hours. "Never underestimate Earth," he said. Through the swirling dust, the Horizon Light moved unseen, preparing for their next move. This was not just survival anymore. This was a game of shadows. And humans, as the galaxy would soon learn, were very good at fighting in the dark. The Empire thought they were chasing animals. They would soon discover they had cornered something far more dangerous. A legend was being born, and it carried the name of humanity. A new hero rises among the stars. For 3 days. The Horizon Light drifted silently among the shattered rocks. The Imperial warship kept searching, scanning every corner of the asteroid field. The crew stayed hidden, watching, waiting, surviving on hope and courage. Inside the ship, tensions were high. Food was low. The engines were damaged, but still, No one spoke of giving up. Commander Elias stood at the viewing window, staring into the endless black. He thought about Earth. About the families who didn't even know they were in danger yet. About the cities, the oceans, the forests, the people, everything at risk because of one small mistake. He clenched his fists. "Commander," Maya said softly. "They're getting closer." Elias turned, his mind sharp and clear. "Then it's time," he said. "Time to remind them that humans don't kneel." He gathered his crew. "Listen," he said, voice steady. "We are not warriors. But today, we will fight like warriors. Not because we want to, but because we must. We will make them fear the spirit of Earth." The crew nodded. There was fear in their eyes, yes, but there was also something else. Pride. The plan was simple and desperate. They would strike first. Using the last of their power, the Horizon Light launched a sudden attack. Explosive drones sped out from the asteroids, targeting weak spots on the Empire ship. The first explosion rocked the enemy vessel. Pieces of armor flew into space. The second blast damaged the engines, making the huge warship slow and heavy. The Empire ship responded with fury, firing wildly into the field. Giant rocks shattered. Burning debris floated past the Horizon Light. "Evasive maneuvers!" Danny shouted. The ship danced between blasts, its small size now a blessing. Elias guided the final move. "Aim for their communication array," he ordered. Maya locked the target. The last drone, packed with everything they had left, sped toward the Empire ship. The explosion was massive. The Empire ship's communication tower shattered into pieces, sending sparks into the void. Inside the enemy ship, confusion spread. Without central command, the Imperial officers panicked. And then something unexpected happened. The Empire ship began to retreat. It turned slowly, engines struggling, and limped away from the asteroid field. They had won. The Horizon Light floated silently, the crew watching in disbelief. "They're leaving," Maya whispered. Elias exhaled slowly. We showed them who we are." But the victory came at a cost. The Horizon Light was badly damaged. Life support was failing. Fuel was almost gone. "Earth needs to know," Elias said. "We need to get this story back home." He recorded a simple message. "We made first contact. It was war. They will come for Earth. But we are ready. We will not break." The message was sent through the stars. Unknown to the crew, their small act of defiance was already spreading. On distant alien worlds, whispered stories began to rise. A new legend. About humans. About how a small ship with no army, no weapons, no backup, stood against the might of an empire and survived. They called it the Spark of Earth. And at the center of the legend was one name, Commander Elias, a new hero among the stars, and the beginning of something the galaxy could not stop. The turning point. The battle for Void Ridgeward of the Horizon Light's escape spread faster than light itself. In hidden corners of the galaxy, small alien groups whispered the same thing. The humans had challenged the Empire and lived. For the first time in 1,000 years, cracks began to show in the Empire's power. But Earth did not celebrate. Earth prepared. Across cities, underground bases, and secret stations, humans worked day and night. New fleets were built. Old weapons were upgraded. Alliances were quietly formed with rebel alien groups who hated the Empire but had never dared to fight back. Until now. And at the heart of every plan was the name, Commander Elias, the human, who lit the first spark. The Empire, furious and desperate, launched a plan to crush humanity once and for all. They chose Void Ridge. Void Ridge was a narrow, strategic point in space, a place of swirling energy fields, floating rocks, and gravitational traps. Control Void Ridge and you could control the path to Earth. The Empire sent 3 full battle fleets to seize it. Humanity sent 1, not a full army, not even official soldiers. They sent a group of volunteers, engineers, pilots, farmers, Scientists, led by Commander Elias. This is not a battle we are supposed to win, Elias told them before the fight. But sometimes, legends are born when winning seems impossible. Void Ridge was a graveyard waiting to happen, but humans did not come to die. They came to change the story. The Empire fleets arrived first, setting up heavy defenses. Thousands of ships formed a wall of steel and fire. The human fleet looked like toys compared to them. Smaller, lighter, barely armed. The Empire commanders laughed. They send insects to fight lions. One of them sneered, but they did not understand. Humans did not fight with numbers, they fought with heart. As the battle began, the humans used tricks the Empire had never seen. Stealth ships hid behind the swirling rocks. Tiny drone swarms disrupted enemy sensors. Gravity mines pulled Imperial ships into deadly collisions. Commander Elias led from the front, piloting a stolen Empire fighter. His voice came over the human fleet's comms, strong and clear. Aim for their pride, break their walls, show them what humans can do. One by one, Imperial ships began to fall. The Empire tried to regroup, but humans kept moving. Fast, unpredictable, impossible to catch. Maya, now a skilled tactical officer, coordinated attacks, with a brilliance that shocked even her enemies. Danny, the once jittery navigator, flew dangerous paths through asteroid fields, leading enemy ships straight into ambushes. The battle raged for hours. Space burned with fire. Ships exploded. Debris rained down like deadly rain. But slowly, against every odd, the Empire's Great Wall cracked. A human victory signal echoed through the battlefield. Void Ridge is ours. Cheers erupted across the fleet. Commander Elias watched the enemy retreat, his heart heavy but proud. They had won. They had turned the impossible into real history. The galaxy, watching from a distance, was stunned. If humans could defeat the Empire at Void Ridge, what else could they do? Fear began to spread. Hope began to spread. And the legend grew. In secret places, rebels sharpened their blades. Old enemies of the Empire whispered new plans. And somewhere, deep within the Imperial Palace, Lord Zeven, the Emperor himself, stared at the reports in silence. "We have awakened something," he said coldly. "Something we cannot control." The Empire had crossed a line, and humanity, once overlooked, once underestimated, was now a wildfire, burning across the stars, and Commander Elias was the one leading the flames. Betrayal and unity. After the victory at Void Ridge, humanity became more than just a name whispered in fear. They became a symbol, a burning star that lit up the darkness of the Empire's rule. But light always draws shadows. Deep inside the hidden rebel networks, not everyone trusted humans. Some alien leaders saw humans as a threat, just another rising power that could not be controlled. Secret deals were made, bribes were offered, and soon, betrayal was born. Commander Elias sat at the edge of the newly built Human Rebel Command Center, staring out into the cold stars. Maya approached quietly. "Commander," she said, "we have received a strange message." Elias looked at her carefully. "From who?" "From the Zarnak Alliance," she said, her voice uneasy. "They want to meet alone." The Zarnak were known to be survivors. They bowed to whoever seemed strongest. Elias knew it could be a trap. "Set the meeting," Elias said after a long silence. "But we go prepared." They met on a small abandoned space station orbiting a dying star. The Zarnak leader, a tall creature with silver skin and black eyes, smiled too easily. "Human," he said, "you are brave, but bravery without power is death. Join us. Surrender your fleets. Serve under our banner. We will protect Earth." Elias looked into the aliens' cold eyes and saw the truth. They wanted to control humanity. They feared humanity's spirit. He smiled back, calm and fearless. "Tell your masters," Elias said. "Earth bows to no empire, not yours, not theirs." The Zarnak leader's smile faded. "Then you will fall alone," he said, and the trap was sprung. Hidden soldiers burst from the shadows, weapons drawn. But Elias had expected this. Hidden human marines, disguised as technicians, drew their own weapons. A fierce, short battle exploded. Inside the station, when the dust cleared, the humans stood victorious. Elias sent a new message to all rebel groups. Earth does not seek to rule. Earth seeks freedom. Stand with us, not under us. The message traveled faster than any weapon. Something new happened. Smaller alien races, once too afraid to rise, now declared their loyalty to humanity. The Urkins, the Selvians, the Thornax, even some former imperial races, they all joined. The rebellion was no longer just human. It became a galaxy-wide movement, unity through respect, not fear. In the secret halls of the Empire, Lord Zevon raged. Fools, he spat. They choose chaos over order, burn their worlds, erase their names. But even he felt a cold shiver deep inside, because the Empire was now fighting something it had never faced before. Hope. Hope. Carried by humans. Hope. Carried by rebels who refused to kneel, and leading them all was the man the Empire could not break, Commander Elias. The final war was coming, and the stars themselves seemed to tremble, waiting for the storm. The spark becomes a flame. The final war began not with a scream, but with silence. Across the galaxy, thousands of rebel ships, human and alien alike, gathered at the edge of Imperial space. They flew old ships, patched up fighters, captured enemy vessels. They had few weapons compared to the Empire's endless armies. But they had something stronger. They had belief. They had unity. And they had Commander Elias leading them. From the bridge of the Horizon Light, rebuilt stronger than ever, Elias looked at the massive Imperial fleet ahead, dark, endless, full of death. Maya stood beside him, her hand steady on the console. They have more ships, she said quietly. Yes, Elias replied, smiling. But we have more heart. The order was simple. All ships, advance. The rebels surged forward like a tidal wave. The Empire fired first. Beams of burning energy lit up space, tearing into the rebel lines. Ships exploded, friends died, but still they moved forward. Using the lessons learned from the asteroid battles, the human pilots dodged, weaved, and struck where the Empire was weakest. Rebel aliens, inspired by human courage, fought with a fury no one had seen before. The Empire struggled to understand. This was not a battle of strength. This was a battle of spirit. Inside the Imperial flagship, Lord Zevon watched in horror as his fleets fell apart. This is impossible, he whispered. Then came the final blow. The Horizon Light, leading a daring strike, slipped through the Imperial defenses and reached the flagship itself. Elias led the boarding party. Blasters fired. Walls shook, room by room. The rebels fought their way to the throne room, and there, standing proud and fearless, Commander Elias faced Lord Zevon. The Emperor, once so mighty, now looked small. You, Zevon hissed. A human, a mistake of evolution. Elias raised his weapon, but did not fire. No, he said calmly. A spark. Zevon lunged forward. Elias moved faster. In a flash, the Emperor was defeated. The Empire's command collapsed. News spread instantly. On distant worlds, slaves broke their chains. On hidden planets, the oppressed cheered. On Earth, humanity looked up at the stars and smiled because they knew. They had not just survived, they had changed the galaxy. Commander Elias stood in the ruins of the Empire's throne room, surrounded by his friends, his allies, his family of rebels. Maya placed a hand on his shoulder. What now, Commander? She asked. He looked out the broken windows at the shining stars beyond. Now, he said, we build something better. The humans had crossed the Empire by accident. But what they started by mistake, they finished with purpose. Spark had become a flame, and that flame would light the galaxy for generations to come. The legend of humanity, once feared, now respected, had just begun.